What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're checking out this 2025 Mercedes Benz GLS. This is the 63 AMG, finished off in polar white. Original base price is around 150 grand. This one is a pre-owned car with like 3,000 miles, going for closer to $135,000. So honestly, on the used market, this seems like a really good buy. So pulling that, we can see what is powering the 63 AMG. So finding that hood latch, we can pop this open and you're gonna see this handcrafted engine. Of course, this is the 4-liter bi-turbo V8. This is gonna make 603 horsepower with 627 pound-feet of torque. We get a 9-speed automatic transmission, the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. 0 to 60 is 4.1 seconds, and curb weight is a little over 6,000 pounds. It's gonna get a 23.8 gallon fuel tank, 14 miles per gallon in the city with 18 on a highway, and towing is even 7,700 pounds. Love the carbon fiber you can see under here. And then taking a look at the styling, I love how Mercedes does this. This is their full-size 3-row, and yet it looks really sporty. Got a dark design for the LED headlights, vertical slots throughout the grille that look really nice in the silver color, massive Mercedes badge, AMG logo, forward-facing camera, as well as parking sensors. Got some gloss black trim and then a lot of openings to provide cooling to the engine as well as the intercoolers. So overall, just a really good looking family vehicle, can't complain. You're gonna get some sharp lines throughout the hood, and then at the side, I like the body colored on those fenders. And then this one has a massive set of 23-inch wheels. You can see the huge AMG brake caliper behind that, satin black, some silver trim, and then the V8 bi-turbo badge. You're gonna see gloss black mirror caps with the turn signal and camera, all black trim throughout the windows, a little bit of chrome trim on the door handles, and a small design for those side steps. Up above, we even get the panoramic sunroof, black roof rails, and then for the side profile, again, this is a 3-row family SUV, but it has really good proportions. It looks awesome, has a nice style to it. And then in back, we have some black trim, chrome trim for all the badging, as well as the trim piece connecting the taillights. Taillights are all red with the LED design, and then we have this silver trim down below. You're gonna get your dual quad exhaust with the parking sensors, some black trim, a little bit of plastic, and then we have the trailer hitch as well. So can't complain with styling. I think it's a pretty sweet looking full-size SUV, probably one of the coolest ones on the market. And then as far as the trunk space goes, pretty roomy as you can tell. You can still fit a couple backpacks in here. You have your 2nd row buttons over on the left, 3rd row buttons with suspension on the right, and then there is extra space all down below underneath the floor here with a spare tire. So for the 3rd row, we can just press these buttons forward. These are gonna take a second, but then they're gonna fold out of the way. We also have this privacy cover that you can remove if needed, but with the seats folded down, you have a really good amount of space. And then for the 2nd row, same sort of deal. I can just press the button, take my fingers off of it, and we will have all the nice flat folding seats. So certainly is a practical car for people as well as stuff. And then to pull everything back up, you gotta be back here. We can just press these buttons, get those ones up, and same sort of deal for the 2nd row. So overall, I like the way it all works. It's pretty nice. Got our button up here. And then one thing interesting, to access the 3rd row to sit in, only on the passenger side do you have a button on this seat. So that seat you really can't get out of the way. This one, you can hold this for a second, passenger seat gets out of the way, and this is going to slide up and out of the way to give you an access point into the back. So a little odd, you can't do it from that side. So if you're gonna have a car seat in this, it's gotta go over here so you can move this up and down. Now this can seat 2 people back here. We have the headrest, there's plugs and storage, a little bit of leather. We have the Alcantara headliner and an air vent. It's actually a decent back row. Your legs can fit comfortably sitting here. The seat themselves are a good size. The headrests are nice as well. So it's not a bad 3rd row for being on the smaller side, just the knee room is a little on the cramped side. But overall, it's not too bad at all. And then just climbing out, not too bad. Now to put this down, we just press the button, and it looks like I do have to hold the button the whole time. So that is a little interesting. If I let go, it all stops. So wouldn't mind that being automatic, not sure why it's not. But once we let it do its thing, and we're back to here, I can then take the controls on the side here and get the seat back the way it was. So not the worst, I guess, compared to others. For the back row, one thing I love, so you're gonna get these funny looking cup holders, a little one and a normal one, but you're gonna get climate vents in the center, on the pillars, and up on the ceiling. So that alone really makes me like this. And then with the captain's chairs, we have adjustable armrests, and then climate controls are all integrated down below. Now, if I hop into the GLS, this is a pretty good sized, full-size SUV. I can sit here really nicely. Driver's seat at my height. I have plenty of legroom. Got a massive panoramic sunroof. Really can't complain. This is, overall, it's a good size. It's not the biggest 3-row out there. However, I feel like it is big enough for what you're gonna need. Realistically, the giant 3 rows, you don't need all that space. So no real complaints for this. Seems like a good use of space. Now onto the front seat. Once again, you have all the nice materials, the Napa leather throughout the doors, the carbon fiber, all the silver trim. We have our heated and ventilated options, memory seating, all of those controls. I like the aluminum buttons. And then the smooth leather, the Alcantara, and this nice perforation design. Got the AMG badge as well. And then the steering wheel is pretty cool with carbon fiber, flat bottom, and you even have a leather stripe up on top. So now my foot on the brake, let's fire it up. V8 roars to life, and you can see those nice screens and all the extra carbon fiber and leather covering pretty much every surface in this interior. Now on the steering wheel, we have 2 different sets of buttons up here. One of them is going to control this screen, so I can very easily adjust all the different designs for heads-up display and the actual gauge cluster as well. So pretty unique design there. And then we can also go through several other different things in the center of the screen, as expected on any car. And then this one over here is going to do the same thing for over on the center screen. So it makes it pretty easy just to maneuver. This, of course, is touchscreen as well, but I like having that control. We have cruise control on this left side, Bluetooth and audio on the right, and then our drive modes are right here. We can easily scroll this and it'll go into all the different drive modes. So I like how configurable that is. And then down here, you can tap the screen and it will cycle through several different things within the car. And then whatever your favorite things are, you can easily toggle that on and off. So I like how they've given you this kind of customizable screen, which is really cool. You're gonna see the Alcantara on the sides, leather in the center, paddle shifters, drive select on the right, windshield wipers over on the left, headlights over down here, and then we have all this leather, carbon fiber, more leather across the dashboard, and all this carbon. More air vents as well. Mercedes really loves giving you air vents, which I like a lot. So for the touchscreen design, all of your basic information, you know, full screen navigation, more things that will pop up. One thing kind of unique, you have some off-road settings you can get into. So pretty functional for family trips, going on maybe a mountain road trip. You have performance information as well, and there's even track stuff in this. So definitely a well-rounded vehicle. Nice design on all the backup cameras, the 360 top-down view, more information like that. Going back into park. Now, one thing I like, you have basic climate controls in the center, so I can easily toggle my fan speed and temperature without even thinking. And then you have this menu icon, and now I have all the touchscreen controls for all the first row, but you can also go into second row, make sure all their air is good, and go into the third row and make sure theirs is all good. So I really like having access to all the climate throughout the vehicle, as well as my own shortcuts. You have some piano black in the center, wireless charging, heated and cooled cup holders, which is a really cool touch. You can see some silver trim, more of the leather, aluminum, and lighting. And then you have this trackpad right here, which is also a cool touch. You got the home icon, some shortcuts on the left and right side, as well as your drive mode. So I like how you don't always have to use touchscreen or the steering wheel. You can kind of really mix and match how you'd like to use the vehicle. So honestly, very, very functional. You got your air suspension icon, more leather, and storage in the center. And then a nice glove box over on the right side with a ton of space. One last look at the interior. Again, this is just a really nice place to be. Cannot complain. Got that massive sunshade with the Alcantara lights and then a frameless mirror. All right, so setting off now in the GLS63. So honestly, I've always liked the GLS. I feel like it's just a really good sized 3-row family SUV, and you get all the cool stuff. So we just bump this into Sport Plus and then give us a cool looking gauge cluster and go into the performance. You got some really cool things here popping up. And then getting up to some speed. It has a grunt to it. A little pop on the exhaust, and between gear changes you can feel the little like power boost in each gear change. It just sounds good, it feels good when you hit the accelerator in this car. But this is a really fun to drive, like jumbo SUV, and I like sports cars, and maybe one day I'm gonna need a 3-row. And honestly, if I get a 3-row, this is something that I would want because it's fun. You have the performance aspects to it. I'm mean, you cannot do that in a Tahoe, so this thing just is so cool with the power you have. And with that said, if we tone it all down, just kind of go into a normal design of everything, get out of that screen, it's a nice luxury car. I don't find this to be back-breaking at all. In comfort mode, it seems to absorb bumps very well. It's quiet and smooth, even with the 23-inch wheels. You have a fantastic view around. All the glass lets you see around, so no issue with the visibility. The seat comfort is really nice, and with the controls on the door, you don't have to worry about like squishing your hand in between the seat or anything like that. It just makes it really nice. So it's pretty comfortable. The seats are nice and plush, very well padded. The armrests are great. I love this too. Just a comfortable place to rest your hand. Kind of a thing you would never think about, but that is just perfect. And I like the armrest here when you do use this trackpad. So just the little creature comforts make this super useful. And for a family, being able to adjust the second and third row climate, I find very useful, just to make sure you hop in and all the kids and everybody who's sitting in the back, they're all good to go. They don't even have to think about it. So I like that, especially on a hot summer day, especially with car seats in the back. You can get their climate control perfect. And I love those 3 air vents up above. That is so cool for the third row. Taking a turn in comfort mode, you know, the steering is nice and lazy. Really not any body roll even in the comfort mode. This is a very well done car. It's just a smooth to drive vehicle. Effortlessly gets up to speed. You don't feel the transmission. I mean, this is just a well done family car. And on the used market, this is a 25 used with 3,000 miles for like 30,000 bucks less than brand new. So this starts becoming a bit more appealing than brand new. And once again, you can just press all the certain buttons and get yourself into the most fun modes, and you're in an AMG once again. So that is definitely the coolest thing with what this car has to offer.